Good everyone, welcome to lesson 10 of Twi Made Easy class. Today we are learning Twi pronunciations. Twi pronunciations. So when we say Twi pronunciations, there are some specific ways in Twi that the writings is different from how we pronounce it. So these are some of the ways that we are coming to look out for. These are some of the ways that we are coming to look out for. So we have about 10 here. One, we have obiara, obiara, ebiara, biribi, biribiara, sara, seyara, pa ara, ono ara, inku ara, berima. All right, so these are some of the ways that the way we write them is different from how we pronounce them. And we don't mention the R's, that's the in these ways I just mentioned, but we slide over them with the vowels over them. Please, let's take note. These ways that I've listed here, we don't mention the R's in it, the R's. All right. So that's the in them. We don't mention it. So we just slide them over with the vowels that is just over it. So let's take note. So I wrote how it is written, how it is pronounced, and the English meaning. So the first one, we write it Obiara. You see that I mentioned the R there, but when you are pronouncing it in the typical tree, we say obia, obia. Instead of saying obiara, you say obia. Okay, so that's everyone or everybody. The second one says a biara, a biara. That's how it is written. But when you are pronouncing it, you pronounce it as a bia, a bia. That is any. Any. Then the third one we have here is biribi, biribi. That is how we write it. But in pronunciation, we pronounce it as bibi. We omit the R, bibi. In English, is any. The next one here is biribiara, biribiara. In Twi pronunciation, we pronounce it as bibia, bibia. As I said over, just slide over the R. Bibia, that's something. The next one here is Sarah, Sarah. Now, in Twi pronunciation, we call it Sa, Sa. The next word is Say Ara, Say Ara. In pronunciation, we pronounce it as Seya, Seya. We have Pa Ara, Pa Ara. Now in Twi pronunciation, we pronounce it as Pa, Pa. The next word here is Onu Ara, Onu Ara. In pronunciation, we pronounce it as Onua, Onua. Then the last but one, we have Inku Ara, Inku Ara. When you are pronouncing it, you pronounce it as Inkwa, Inkwa. You omit the R. Now the last word we have here is Berima, Berima. So when you are mentioning Berima, you mention it Bema, Bema. The R would not come. Bema. So as I said earlier, these are ways that when you are mentioning, you omit the R and slide it over with a vowel that is just over them. So let's take note of it. Here are some few examples that we will look out. So the first one says, you write it as Obiara Nimkasa. But when you are mentioning it or when you're pronouncing it, you will say Obia Nimkasa. That's the one in bracket. Obia Nimkasa. That's everybody or everyone knows how to talk. The second example says Biribiara. That's how you will write it. So it says Biribiara ni danumu. Biribiara ni danumu. But when you are mentioning it or pronouncing it, you say Bibia ni danumu. There is nothing in the room. There is nothing in the room. The third one says Mame aduane nko ara. Mame aduane nko ara. Now, when you are mentioning it or pronouncing it, you will say mame aduane nko ara. Mame aduane nko ara, which sounds natural tree for everyone. Mame aduane nko ara. That is, give me only food. Give me only food. The next example is number 4 says, Mireko suku. Mireko suku. But when you are mentioning or pronouncing it, you will say meko suku. Meko suku. I am going to school. Now, example number 5 says, Oreda. Oreda. That's he or she is sleeping. But when you are pronouncing that word, you will say order. 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 Instead of the re, it will be double or, which is order. Now, example number 6 says, Miribisa wo asem. Miribisa wo asem. That is how you write it. But when you are pronouncing it, you pronounce it as Mibisa wo asem. That's the one in brackets, bolding in brackets. Mibisa wo asem. I am asking you a question. The last example we have here says, Kofi reba fie. Kofi reba fie. Kofi reba fie. Now, when you are pronouncing it, you will say Kofi ba fie. Kofi ba fie. Please pardon me, there was a mistake here. The fie has been fierce. I think it's a typing mistake, so let's take note. But the right thing should be F-I-E. F-I-E. E-A-F-I-E. So it says Kofi befie. That's how you pronounce it. And that's Kofi is coming home. Thank you so much for being with us. I know you've gotten these examples. Please, let's take note, especially for those that are here because of they want to read the Twi language or Twi alphabet. Please again, try and take note of this way so that when you see them anywhere, you will know how to mention it. As I said, just slide over the R and mention the